Let them fight. Yes. Finally, I've reached the end. It's time to review Godzilla versus Kong and finish off Kaijuly. Yes. So, hold on, before I start, let me get the Blu-ray here. So, some of you... Here's the Blu-ray. It's pretty. Wish it was like shiny. The 4K is, but... so some of you may notice that I left a message. Or I mentioned on my Facebook page, the Skyboy Rules Facebook page, that I was having trouble uploading stuff. Well, I was uploading the Wildcard Wednesday review, and it took me 2 days to figure out how to do it because it kept coming up. Waiting for internet. Downloading pause. And it was just after my phone updated. So I figured that was part of it, but I didn't know. So I gave up trying to do it, and I said I was taking a hiatus. Well, I figured it out. You know, I uninstalled the update for YouTube, and then it works. So here we go. Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's talk about this movie. A movie I wasn't able to see in theaters, and I wish I had, because the fight scenes would have been fantastic in theaters. But no, COVID had to strike, and my theater doesn't exist anymore. So I gotta watch it at my home now. So, Godzilla and Kong, and right from the trailers, I knew something was off. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a good movie. But, this is one of those things, it's a good movie, but from the trailers, I already saw the problems, the cracks in the foundation of the MonsterVerse, so to speak. Because in this movie, in the trailer that I saw, they were bringing Kong to Godzilla. They're taking Kong off Skull Island and moving him somewhere else. And right away I went, no. Why are you moving Kong? That makes no sense. Because in the end credits of the last film, they're like newspaper stuff, and it says, monsters headed towards Skull Island. You had it right there. Godzilla should go to him. But no. And why? Because you hinted at the possibility of Hollow Earth in the last one, Godzilla hiding in Atlantis. So of course, we gotta explore that, because we do. Skull Island was such a fascinating place in Kong Skull Island that's where I wanted the fight to take place, where it should take place. The beginning of this movie shows you not only are we back on Skull Island, but not only do they ruin the continuity from the last one twice, by the way, in this movie, maybe more. But by, having to move him, they have established a monitoring station on Skull Island. Why? And not only that, do you remember in Kong Skull Island, they had those people, those indigenous people, the Iwi? They're all dead. Every single one of them dead from a big storm, except for one little girl. That's it, dead. Everyone dead. Yep. Apparently they died off screen in a storm because I guess they didn't have the budget to hire extras. They're doing more world building with Hollow Earth, but we had the world building. And now, I don't know. Not only that, but they also ruined Little Russell's. Kyle Chandler, Mr. Russell, he's in this movie for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Doesn't do anything. He has an argument with his daughter, and then he's seen in like one other scene. That's it. Madison is in this. You know, Millie Bobby Brown. But good luck furthering her story from the last film. You know, her mother died, and she should be dealing with that. Nope. She's following around a podcaster, a conspiracy theorist, to try to figure out why Godzilla is attacking Apex Engineering. And it's the most obvious thing you can think of if you're a Godzilla fan. I didn't want to believe it because it didn't make any sense. And it follows up from that post-credit scene in the last one with the Ghidorah head. It's Mecha Godzilla. Does that make sense? Nope. Nope, because now that I've watched the older films, I know it does kind of make sense. But if you're not a hardcore Godzilla fan, like I wasn't, like I'm a Godzilla fan, but this is my first time watching through a lot of the movies, you know? So, you know, my first time going through them. So I didn't know that was the thing. They have 2 Ghidorah heads somehow, even though only one was cut off. Did they cut off another one? I don't know, but they communicate with each other, and then it takes over and causes the Mechagodzilla to fight on its own. Look, I am so sick of we have this versus this, and we gotta add something else in there, because we can't have a cure winner of this, because they're both good guys, right? Like, take Freddy versus Jason. They're both bad guys. Who's gonna win? The humans, because they're in the middle, and they killed both of them. Batman v Superman. Who's gonna win? Technically Batman, he's the only one that's still alive. But then you throw Doomsday in there. Technically Luthor wins, because Superman is dead. Every time we have a Alien versus Predator, who wins? The Predators, but the humans got involved in the middle of it. That's the only real clear-cut one, though, is Alien versus Predator. Humans are involved, but there's really one clear-cut there. You just don't need to have that thing. I don't think you should have saved Mechagodzilla for another film. I know you can't just have straight Godzilla versus Kong. Or you could have. All you gotta do is say there's something in Godzilla making him want to fight. That's it. That's all you have to do. And you can bring back Jonah, which, by the way, he's not in this film, despite the fact that he was the one who found the Ghidorah head. He's nowhere to be found. We introduced Serizawa's son, Ren, and he's in it for about 5 minutes and does nothing, says maybe one line. He pilots Mechagodzilla till it, you know, short circuits, and that's it for him. We introduce a new villain, human villain, played by Damien Bakir. He's the one who helped design, or Bakir, whatever his name here is, that one who helped design Mechagodzilla, and he's worthless. Doesn't do anything. The human characters in this film are useless. Even the characters from the last film don't do anything. Why? Why did the human characters suck? Because you didn't build them properly within your little monsterverse. So much so you had to introduce new characters for Kong. You have the Rebecca Hall's character and Alexander Skarsgård's character, right? You get a sense that Alexander Skarsgård knows about Hollow Earth and he's obsessed with it and he has a connection to Kong. Great. But these characters are pulled out of the ass of the writer's room. This goes back to my complaint about Kong Skull Island, is it should have been set in modern time. Then he wouldn't have to write new characters in. He wouldn't have to write in a little girl survivor. You just have them, they're still there. But, you know, you didn't have to set up a little monitoring station. You can have them be able to go freely back and forth to Skull Island to see Kong. And you have Tom Hiddleston's character and you have Brie Larson's character. Let's see that Brie Larson communicated with the people, learned sign language to talk to Kong. That's all you would need to do. It just makes no sense. You do not have any continuity with characters other than mentioning the Iwi tribe and then killing them off in the process. You bring in the Russells from the previous film and they do bumfuck anything in this film. The best part of this film is when Godzilla and Kong actually get to fight. And the Mechagodzilla stuff was good too. But for the most part, it should have been more. Warner Brothers just doesn't get how a universe works. And for building a universe, it's not that, but you need connecting characters. You had certain characters in the first Godzilla film, got rid of them in the next one. Kong Skull Island has certain characters, but you base it in 1973, so now those characters can show up in 2020, so get rid of them. You had Kong Skull Island, you had some characters left, but we don't have any creative writing for those characters, so we're just going to have them running around, have a 5-minute cameo for Kyle Chandler, and have Millie Bobby Brown be a conspiracy theorist for some reason? Like I said, I like this movie, but it frustrates me so much because they could have done so much more. Take the Japanese Godzilla films. Look at Miki. Now, she didn't do bumfuck anything in those films either, but she was constantly there in almost every single one of the Heisei films. She was there. She was a part of it. You had characters connected to it. You had interchanging characters. You killed off two of the only characters that did kind of follow through in the first Godzilla. In the last one, you had, Serizawa and Sally What's-Her-Tits. Dead. That's the biggest problem with this. You need more character development. I know that no one cares about the humans in the Godzilla film, but they would if you cared. If you put effort into the human characters, people would care. But you didn't. Other than establishing Monarch, and you had Serizawa, you killed him off. You had Sally What's-Her-Tits, who did bumfuck all, killed her off. And you had the Russells from the last film. Like, okay, that's good. You can carry them over. 5-minute cameo for Kyle Chandler. Millie Bobby Brown is doing something totally against her character arc from before. Like, shouldn't she be mourning her mother? Shouldn't she be affected more? Nope, she's just following conspiracy theorists. And why does she need to follow conspiracy theorists? She has an inside contact with her father. Why should she have to do this? I know she had an argument with her father. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But still, it's like they wrote different characters. And, oh, wait, we got her in here. I'll just put her in that role and not rewrote it to fit her character. Just adding, her father and this stuff. No. The human characters are terrible. I'll just say that. Now, when it comes to the fighting, the way this is shot is gorgeous. You have these kind of colors in there for the fights the entire time. Godzilla, Kong. The reason why Kong wants to fight Godzilla is bullshit. Oh, because they want to establish who's the king of the monsters. Kong has been on Skull Island for how long? Since before 1973. If Godzilla had a problem with Kong, you think he would have gone there before this. Right? Right? And it takes them moving him off of Skull Island. I know there's like a storm that stops it from going through, but like, Godzilla can go through that. It just makes no sense why they have to move Godzilla, or move Kong from the island before Godzilla can attack. Why couldn't Godzilla attack him before? It's right there. Yes, I know. There was a storm that was going through, but it's not going to stop Godzilla. It's bad writing is what it is. Can I get to the good part of this? I don't know, maybe. The fighting between Godzilla and Kong and Mechagodzilla. Like I said, I don't care if Mechagodzilla's in this film. I don't care for Mechagodzilla in this film, I should say. It doesn't make any sense to me. They should have saved it for a later film. But it's there. It's fine, I guess. Also, they hinted at another Mothra because they found an egg in one of the newspaper things, but they ignored that too. I thought Mothra was going to show up because of that egg. Nope. Didn't show up at all, so what was that for? Or was that supposed to be a Minya hit? Which, in case, if you're going to do that, fuck you, Warner Brothers. No Minya for me. Thank you very much. Anyway, overall, I think it's a good film, but I feel like there was just... They needed stronger writing, and they needed more character development. They needed more characters throughout the franchise. And it was a bit of a letdown. To me, King of the Monsters was better because it had that oomph. And it didn't help that I had to watch this on a regular-sized TV screen instead of in the theater, so that didn't help. You know, you could say, oh, we don't, you know, they're helping us by putting these on HBO Max and stuff. But for movies like this, you need that big scale, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't work on a smaller screen. But it's still, I think, it's still a good movie if you turn your brain off and just enjoy it for the monster showdown that it is. So, there you go. Yes, I didn't go through any of the plot because I didn't really need to. I had my complaints. I rewatched this even though I had my opinions on it already. But, so there we go. I finished Kaijuly. Godzilla Victory Dance. I may do a ranking. I don't know yet. So stay tuned for that. Until then, what are your thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong? What are your thoughts on Kaijuly as a whole? Leave me comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.